Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in again. We're going to continue on our series here of comparing the Google Home and the Google Home Mini versus the Amazon Echo series here. And today what we're going to talk about is going and getting the news. So that includes the news, the weather, sports, all these different components of news. We're going to compare those two devices and we're going to show you which one is the better, help you make a choice on picking which one's better for your home. Alright, so normally I start these videos by showing you the number of help files on Google site or Amazon Echo site. But actually today I'm just going to go through the different sections we're going to go through. There's just too many instructions to show you here for all these different items. Now for getting news here, we're going to go through the news and sources, the weather, sports, stocks, flights, which I actually mean your flights, your own personal flights, or booking flights basically, and then commuting, and then getting specific to your own day, so kind of that compilation. Now we're going to go straight into a demo here for news and news sources. Hey Google, what's my news?
Here's the latest news. Continuing CBC News hourly edition at 7 p.m. today.
Ontario police say they are investigating the deaths of 4 people north
Alexa, what's my flash briefing?
Here's your flash briefing. From CBC News Edmonton.
I'm Scott Stevenson with an Alberta news update. The Fort McMurray restaurant that started
Okay, so it's pretty clear both of these devices, the Google Home and the Amazon Echo series, they will go and grab news from different sources. The one thing to note is that you're limited by who Google chooses on the Google Home side, and then on the flip side, Amazon Echo is unlimited, but you're going to have to install the skills there in order to get those different news sources. So let's move on to weather here. This is a pretty quick little demo. Alexa, what's the weather like?
Currently, in Alderson it's -8 degrees with cloudy skies. Tonight, you can expect clouds, with a low of -10 degrees.
Hey Google, what's the weather?
Right now in Ardrossan it's 19 degrees and mostly cloudy. The forecast tonight is 19 and mostly cloudy.
Obviously both devices can do the weather. They can give you the weather right up to the minute. They're basically pulling from the same sources. Weather pretty much has all come together at this point, so not a lot to talk about there. Let's move on to sports. What I'll tell you is that the setup method here is a little bit different between the two. Hey Google, when do the Oilers play next?
The Oilers' next game is tomorrow at 6 p.m., where they will play the Ducks.
Alexa, what's my sports update?
Here's your sports update. In hockey, I don't yet know the score for the Oilers game. Earlier today the Red Wings beat the Hurricanes 3-1. They'll play tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. in New York City against the Rangers.
So there you go. Obviously both devices are going out, they're getting you that sports information. What I'll tell you is that the Echo is pulling based on very specific teams that you've pulled into the Alexa app, whereas the Google Home is basically using its search engine capability. You can also set favorite sports teams or favorite teams with Google as well. So let's move on. Let's talk about the stocks now. Hey Google, give me the stock price for Coca-Cola.
As of 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday, the Coca-Cola Co. is trading at $43.96 a share on NYSE after hours, down 0.18% from closing.
Alexa, give me the price of Coca-Cola shares.
I found multiple matching items. The first is Jim Shore Coca-Cola Share Coke Snowman Polar Bear Christmas figurine 4,050,000.
Now here we have our first differential between the two. Really the Echo was incapable of going and getting any stocks. I tried a number of different ways to actually pull that in, whereas you could see Google pulled that in immediately, and I think that's just based on the fact that Google runs the overall finance.google.com service. So let's move on to flights. This is a bit of a different demo for you, but I think you'll see what I mean as we go in here. Hey Google, is my flight delayed?
Sorry, I couldn't find any flight reservations.
Hey Google, find me a flight to Hawaii.
Some popular flight destinations in Hawaii include Honolulu and Kailua. Upcoming round-trip flights from Edmonton start at $572. Where do you want to go?
Honolulu.
Upcoming round-trip flights from Edmonton to Honolulu start at $497. Do you know what dates you'd like to fly?
March 10th.
Okay, what's your return date?
March 17th.
Round-trip flights from Edmonton to Honolulu leaving March 10th and coming back March 17th start at $779. Should I email you if that price changes?
Yes.
You got it.
Alexa, how much are flights to Honolulu?
I'm sorry. Flight status is not supported right now.
Okay, so again, now here I'm giving the Google Home a check mark. If you actually have flights booked through a Google service here, you can pull that update from Google directly. Whereas from Amazon Echo, again, if you had a specific skill, same as the stocks, if you had a specific skill for these items, you could pull those items into the Echo series. But natively, these items are not here today. Let's talk about the commute, and then we'll go straight into your own day after that. Hey Google, tell me about my commute.
On your way to work, traffic is light as usual. It is 34 minutes by car.
Alexa, tell me about my commute.
Currently, traffic on your commute looks pretty clear. The fastest route takes about 42 minutes via Highway 630 and Sherwood Park Freeway Northwest.
So clearly both devices can give you your commuting information before you leave. There was a pretty clear differential in terms of time there, and what I'll tell you is that the Google Home timeline was accurate, whereas the Amazon Echo timeline was a little bit long, and I'm not exactly sure why or what they're using at this point. But it was just a little bit longer than it normally takes. So let's move on to your own day. Now, what I'll say here, and I'm not going to do a demo because it just would take a long time, but both of these devices can provide you a breakdown of your own day. And as long as you have your calendar synced in and you have the news sources and the weather set up, you're going to get the standard information that you'd be looking for. What I'll say is, if you have a flight, the Google Home will provide you that information. If you have a flight with Amazon, or if you have a flight and you're using the Amazon Echo, you're not going to get that information by asking the Echo about your day. So in this case, and this is the first of our 3 videos where the Google Home has gone ahead and won one of these, in terms of getting news and all this different information, Google Home comes out as the winner here. Now, what I'll tell you is that there's some nuance here to this. And I think it's kind of up to people what they prefer. When the Google Home goes and it pulls its news sources, in general, it's pulling from what you see on Google. So it's really using its fantastic search engine capability, and it's pulling its different services that have been created over time by Google to pull in. But what that also means is they have less news sources overall that are available today. Whereas on the flip side, the Amazon Echo isn't necessarily able to pull in all these different sources natively, but if you have skills installed, you're going to be able to get that information using the specific skills. And I have to think over time, instead of having to ask about 3 different skills to give you information, I have to think that Amazon's going to work more and more to give you better and better ways to access multiple skills at the same time. So, today already you can ask for your flash briefing and you can incorporate multiple skills into that flash briefing. So I think right now what you have to understand is you're kind of limited on the Google Home side in terms of the number of news sources. I wouldn't say it's a problem because they have all the big ones. But on the Echo side of things, not everything's working natively. You've got to kind of go out and look for your service, and hopefully they have a skill and are able to provide that information to you. So again, in this case, Google Home is taking the getting news and information here, and this is their first win in our series of Google Home versus Amazon Echo.